Hello everybody and welcome to a 2023 resolution Play All Player Cards check-in. It's been a while since I've done one of these, because honestly I've just been grind out as much Arkham as I can, because it turns out there is a lot of player cards in Arkham Horror, the card game. So as I did in the previous ones, I'm going to kind of just sum up what the resolution is, then give an update as it goes. So in 2023... well, let's take a step back. In 2022, I made the resolution to play every investigator in a campaign at least once. It was tough. And then I thought I needed to do something new in 2023. So my goal was to play every player card in 2023. So that's the goal. The goal is simply just play every player card at least once. At least once. So this means I need to put all assets into play. I need to play all events from my hand. And I need to commit each skill card to a test. That's simple. That's simple in theory. It's just that there's a lot of juice. Notably, a card counts as played even if this only happens once. So even if I only play it once, even if I don't use it to the full potential that the card can have, that counts as a check mark for the goal. So we have a few more boring rules that we can cover that kind of sum up some further detail here. Events and assets do not count as played if they are committed to a test. I need to actually play them, either put them into play or, resolve the event in the way that the event wants to be resolved. So they do not count if I commit them to a test. Cards played in standalone mode do count for progress. I do play a lot of campaigns throughout the year, but I also play a lot of standalone gameplay. And it's very important for me to count that as part of the cards played, because it's just how it just makes it possible. Because I look now as the progress we've made, where I'm recording this on June 1st, which is not the halfway point of the year. The end of June is the halfway point of the year. But without the standalone mode, this would be a much, much harder challenge for us to actually get through. So the cards played in standalone mode do count for progress. Investigators don't count, so they don't count for player cards. And only cards released at the start of 2023 count for this challenge. So if and when, I'm going to say when, I'm not going to fearmonger that there's no expansion coming at the end of the year, but when the new expansion comes out at the end of the year, cards that are in that one do not count towards my Play All Card Challenge for 2023. It was outlined at the start of the year, and now we're using those for this. So new cards, when they come, do not count. Also, it should be fair to say that custom cards don't count. Only official player cards count that were released at the start of 2023. Nice and simple. So, we are now 5 fully completed months into the challenge. In the first 2 updates, I was feeling pretty good. It was going great. It was going fantastic. So how is it going now on resolution check-in number 3? January, February, March, April, May are all in the books. How's it going? Well, it's going. It's going. So this was something that I predicted earlier on, that I felt as though that my theory was that it's just front-loaded, right? That the progress that's easiest is at the beginning, where we're marking off most of the level 0 cards. And progress has certainly slowed in this in the later parts. And I imagine once we get to the end, it's going to be very, very, very slow. So here is the snippet from the spreadsheet. So the most important thing that we can look at here is that we are over halfway done. We are over halfway done before we reach the halfway point of the year. So if we just do, I have my little calculator here, we just do a simple 5 divided by 12, that's 42%. 6 divided by 12 is obviously 50%, not 60%. Which means that because we only have 5 completed months, we are actually ahead of pace. My fear is that we're going to start falling behind pace relatively quickly, because now when I play a campaign, I mark off maybe 1.4% completion, right? Which is not good for 8 scenarios, right? Even when I do a standalone, I can mark off a chunk of the cards. But as you can see, we still have 441 cards that we need to play. So while I've not entirely given up hope, I am certainly, I'm feeling the resolution. But you know what? what's most important is that we are always challenging ourselves with Arkham. We like to find new things, and I mean, like, even though it's been a challenge, I've actually been having a ton of fun with this challenge. I've been discovering new things, realizing things about cards I already knew about, and just, like, most importantly, exploring the Arkham pool in ways that I didn't explore previously. So basically a lot of these cards are the level 0 cards. There's a few level 0 cards left in each class, and well, each section rather. But at this point now, the majority of the level 0 cards have been played, so we are here in XP mode, which is doable. It is doable. As I said, we're still ahead of curve. We have, like, if we can get to, like, 60 by the end of June, we're looking, like, really good. Because then by July, we're ahead of that. Like, that's, like, July pacing that we want to hit there. But as you can see, Rogues have been my most played. I played 112 Rogue cards, which is kind of crazy. I've been loving Rogues lately. No surprise, Mystics are my most unplayed, and Guardians are there as well. You can kind of just see that, like, you know, even the Seeker cards, but Seeker has a lot of cards. They have a lot of upgraded cards, too. A lot of research cards, which, while you technically, by the official rules, can't actually play in standalone mode, I say I'm going to play them anyway because I'm 34 years old and I make these decisions for myself. Notably, there's one card that I actually played recently, which was Teamwork. Bryn and I built 2 decks that are really fun together, and they play Teamwork together, and that's going to be on the channel in the near future. We're each running Teamwork to trade some stuff between each other, so I'm very much looking forward to you seeing that. I'm not going to talk about that card in detail in the next few slides, but as you can see here, it's going. I mean, I can't believe I played 538 cards, like, different cards already, and we only have 441 left to go. I think I'm killing it. I think, like, even though it's slowing down, and it's like, I wouldn't call it easy anymore, it's still fun, and I'm still, like, quite proud of myself in the progress. And even if I don't actually complete this resolution by the end of the year, I am going to carry it into 2024 to just finish it off, but I think I can. I think I can finish it without resorting to having to grind out a bunch of standalones. Like, that's kind of like my hope. I don't want to have to just, like, play, like, 12 standalones to just finish it off. I want to try to get there organically while making content for the channel, while playing Arkham just to have fun, and I want to, like, have fun doing this. And so far, I am having fun doing this. So why don't we dive into some card discoveries that I made, and we can talk about it. So the first one here were physical trainings and Down the Rabbit Hole. So you can replace any of these physical trainings with the talent in the respective class. So Hyper Awareness, Hard Knocks. Can I get there? Hard Knocks. I can't. I don't know the other two. I know the pictures of them. It's the guy going like this. And it's Dig Deep's one of them, right? It's like, oh, the monster is on me. But anyways, all of these with Down the Rabbit Hole are awesome. I actually love them. Because you get the level 0s in your deck, and they're not great. But then, for 2 experience, you can upgrade both of them. And then, for 2 more experience, you get the good version, which is really good. So, like, yeah, it eats, like, 2 of your upgrade, like, your Down the Rabbit Hole upgrades. But going into, like, Scenario 3 with your talents at full XP, it's very powerful, and this is something that I would never consider. Now, of course, you need to be able to run down the rabbit hole for this to work, but this is actually really nice for, like, the Dunwich investigators, right? Because they can just play Down the Rabbit Hole as one of the cards, and this is probably something that you're going to see me do in future gameplay videos while I try to cross them off on the resolution, but also to play with the upgraded talents, because I do think the upgraded talents are really fun. And this is why I actually really like Down the Rabbit Hole as a card, because it enables these kind of discoveries and kind of like XP boosts into ways that other cards don't. So this allows like Guardians to be able to cheat on XP in a very fair way, because then they have to like build their deck from the get-go and figure out all their upgrades at the start. So I really like this Down the Rabbit Hole, and I really like how it works with physical training. Next card here is Clairvoyance, the 5 experience version. I forgot how bad these cards are. Man, this is like the upgraded Shriveling. Like, the ones that just deal you damage or horror. Ouch. You know? Like, ouch. Like, the, it's just like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. They're expensive. Most of the time, the additional, like, discovery clues and damage don't really matter. and it just like hurts. It just hurts. If you're watching this video on the day it came out on Tuesday, we're going to see me play this card in action. And I think I take like 4 to 6 horror from it, which is crazy. I think I take 4. But still, like 4 horror, like a card shouldn't deal you that much horror. And it's kind of like there's no reason to upgrade into it. So while I haven't played these cards in a long time, my opinion of it kind of stayed the same, where it's like, yeah, these cards aren't great. And I still have that opinion, and this has not changed it. So just no thank you. Thumbs down. Refine. So this was a card that I was super not hot on. And after playing it, I can confirm that I am still super not hot on it. However, it is fun to be able to add like, for example, an inscription on a runic axe that's like needed in the moment, right? Like, I took an attack of opportunity to, you know, upgrade my runic axe and then use that to heal with the glory. Or like, sorry, no, to hunt, to move, and like, you know, do some other things. Or no, it was to get the elders. It was to get the elder one, to get additional clue, to get like to start discovering clues with it. And it's cute. It's cute. I don't think it's good. I don't think Refine is worth the spot in your deck after playing it. Even though like it got me 3 experience, that 3 experience isn't going to matter in the long term enough that if you just had a card that helped you win more, you might have a better chance getting more experience in the scenario, or alternatively, you know, just winning quicker, right? Like just being more efficient. And as you know, I'm boring and I love efficiency in Arkham, so that's what about this. However, I will respect the fact that the card is cute, and I do like that, you know, you can upgrade in the middle of a scenario, but Refine did not wow me, and it did not change my opinion of it after playing. Kicking the Hornet's Nest, however, I actually was super high on this card, and I actually think this card is not great. I think it has its home in specifically Mark Harrigan. Even in Trish, it's kind of awkward, right? Because Trish just has Seeker, like this is where I thought Trish would be great in Trish, right? But like Trish has Seeker Economy. I could also see it being good in like Keimani. Keimani's in the art. But Keimani also, like, you know, can deal with enemies by evading them, right? And then like you do other tricks, can like take advantage of it in other ways. Mark Harrigan can just kill the enemy, right? To get the clue is really nice. But most of the time I end up drawing Kicking the Hornet's Nest. And I'm like, I don't think I want to draw an enemy. I could see this going up in value in 4 players, but the majority of my time playing it has been 2 players. I was much hot on this card. I think I gave it like a 4.5 in my initial hype rating for Scarlet Keys when it came out. Actually, you know what? Let's look it up. I'm curious. I want to see exactly what I gave it. I need to know. I need to know, because like I think now I'd probably give it like a 3. I don't think the card's bad. I think it has its home. But I do think that it is... I was so high up on this card. And I am much further down on it now. So Kicking the Hornet's Nest. Yeah, I gave it a 4.5 in my initial hype ranking for it. And I'd probably drop it down to like a 3 in the right deck and like a 2.5 in other decks. It's just like you have to spend an action to get an enemy, and then like, yeah, you get resources, but like what if you hit like a bad enemy or like an enemy that's hard to kill and you're like, oh, now I got to deal with this. I think in Trish, like who I thought it'd be great in, and it still has like synergy, but like you don't need it. Like you get clues really well. And you also even when you get 2 clues, you're like, your pace is just probably better. You don't need the money because you have Seeker Economy. It's just like, it's very much like, it's been more awkward than as amazing as I thought it was going to be. Carson Sinclair is the opposite. Carson Sinclair is a very fun investigator that I enjoy playing with, and I enjoy playing as. I'm doing a run currently right now, and I'm playing Carson And I'm discovering a lot about the character, like what he needs. Like, I think that Carson there's a lot of different ways that you can take his ability. But the idea with Carson is that you want to essentially be glued to other investigators. And that was a discovery I made after playing him. And I think there's a lot of really fun things that you can discover with Carson. And I'm excited to see how his decks evolve over time from other people. But Carson, fun investigator. I have a great time playing with him. I don't think he is, like, OP. I think he is, like, perfectly efficient. You know, he's, like, perfectly efficient. He does it really well. I think he's a very good character. I'd probably give him, like, an A if I had to rate him. You still do feel his stat line and his soak, but, like, well, his stats, not his, like, his damage and horror. But he is still, I think, just, like, so, I think it was a very fine line that the designers walked. And I think they absolutely nailed it with Carson. I think they did great. Few more cards here to talk about. Harmony Restored. Ain't this card bad? I played it. And it's not economy. It's not. Because you need to remove at least probably 6 curses for it to match an emergency cache, right? And that requires a lot. I also don't know if it's like... So, for example, I didn't know while I was playing this. I just assumed it worked this way. Because, you know, it seemed unplayable otherwise, but it says search the chaos bag for X curse tokens, return them to the token pool, where X is number of blessed tokens in the chaos bag. If you have, like, for example, 5 blessed tokens and 4 curse tokens, can you pull out 4 curse tokens, or do the numbers actually need to match? I assume that it's supposed to, like, in the spirit of the card, it's up to, you know, it's up to X. And then you gain 1 resource for each curse token this way, and it costs 3 to do. I put this card into a deck mostly because it's under the Patron Play Along League Challenge, which currently may require you to play a lot of different cards. Oh, shit. But it also, I needed to play it. And it's bad. This card is not good. This card just, like, I mean, like, maybe I'm missing something. But it's not economy. Who cares about curse tokens? It's just like, if you're a blessed deck and you care about curse tokens, play Token of Faith. That's basically what I'm coming down to. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then this one was another one I played that was just, it blows my mind how bad it is. But I also tried to think about how you can balance this card, and it becomes problematic very quickly, right? Like, say, for example, this was add 3 blessed tokens. That's probably a pretty easy way to fill it up, especially when you use something like Grizzly Totem. But otherwise, it's kind of just nothing. It's kind of just a nothing card. Like, even if it was, I don't know. I love the art. I love the color. It looks pretty in my hand. And then I have to be like, oh, yeah, I need to commit this to something. I mean, like, I know with this one in Harmony Restored, I'm not exactly, like... rocking the Arkham world when I say this card's not good, but this card is just not good, and it wowed me how, like, unplayable it actually is when I had to play it. And I think that's it. That is it! Here, one second, let me just go to this one more time to close us off. But yeah, 54.9% through at the time of recording this video. It's going. I'm having a blast, though. I'm still having tons of fun, but I am feeling the slower progression. So hopefully we'll have another update video soon, and we can see how I'm doing then. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the year of Arkham content that we have been producing, and I hope you've also been enjoying playing Arkham yourself. In the meantime, thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing. Also, you can join our, our Patreon down in the description. Otherwise, have a good one. We love you. And as always, GG's.